Nick Saban's the hero of the world. Nick Saban's the hero. I wish he'd come to Michigan. Alabama fans are really spoiled. Screw you, Alabama fans. Go Blue!
Hey!
Heck yeah. Greatest song ever.
I should have had some Russian dance music to that. But anyway.
Little fiddler on the roof going, but
I guess that will be our first part. As I told him, it had become a hot topic a while ago, and then we were about to talk about it, and then he said, let's not talk about it. And then I said, I might have to tie you down to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it, and that is Saban.
yeah.
Will he leave Alabama?
2 days ago, I was thinking yes. I was thinking that his wife had made some comments. He had made some comments about the fans being kind of spoiled and how, you know, when you win as much as you do, it's like they start to not appreciate what they have. And especially Saban's wife was kind of, I don't know if it was a tweet or whatever it's called, but she
It's a
made,
tweet.
She made a comment basically
He's
saying,
making the conversion.
No, I'm never going to have a Twitter account. But she basically said,
Anyway.
well, that's the thing. SportsCenter will let me know about the important tweets, so it's like I don't need to actually have it. But she basically said Alabama fans are spoiled rotten and they don't appreciate my husband. That's basically what she said. Texas, I think, would be much more relaxed. I think those fans there are much more forgiving than Alabama fans are. And it's like they've won 3 national titles in 4 years, and it took a miracle for them not to win another one this year. And it's like... Mm-hmm. I thought Texas would make some ridiculous offer, but it seems like the fire has been fanned a little bit in the last 36 hours, and so I think
yes.
It kind of has, but unless Saban all of a sudden comes out and says, yeah, I'm going to Texas, right now my gut's just screaming that it's not going to happen, so.
I really don't know. It's almost like the New York Jets, how inconsistent they are, kind of this, it's like, oh, he's leaving. No, he's not. Yes, he's leaving. No, he's not. Whew, I really don't know what to think.
I think a lot of that's the media. You know, Texas, somebody starts a rumor in Texas about Mac Brown stepping down, and then all of a sudden it's Saban, and then Texas has this huge offer they're going to give him. Alabama's going to give him $7.3 million a year now. It's like, and does he really want, at his age, to go to another university? And I mean, you could say start over, but it's like, with the talent at Texas, he'd probably win a title next year. But I think if Saban's going to move, this is the time. If Saban stays at Alabama, then he's never leaving. Because he's 61, 62 years old. He's not going to stay at Bama a few more years and then leave.
He's the same age as Mac Brown. I heard that on the herd. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, he's aging well. Nick Saban's a beautiful, handsome guy, and Mac Brown's not. He's like, Mac Brown looks like I'm going to look in like 10 years. So, Saban gets the looks, he gets the women, he gets the athletes, he gets the championships.
I mean, his quarterback is dating the hottest woman in Alabama.
Yeah, and that was actually, I thought, hilarious that the second they lost, he ran over to her to cry, and she had to, coddle him.
It's funny because Catherine graduated from Auburn.
Yeah, she did. She didn't feel one bit sorry for him. I don't care if she went, oh, poor baby, give me a hug. And then she started smiling. Clearly, yeah. McCarron, it's like, come on, dude, really?
I remember you posted a status, in the middle, in the second quarter, you said, Bama is awesome. They are going to steamroll and win the championship. And I thought, watch Auburn win this game.
No. All I said is Alabama's really good. Because Auburn came out, jumped all over them early, and then Bama came back and punched them right in the mouth. And yeah, they were up 21-7. And at that point, I was like, yeah, Bama's really good. But then the only way Bama ever loses is when Bama hurts Bama. And that's what happened. Bama came back and all of a sudden made mistakes and busted coverages. They had 4th and 1s where even their running back made the wrong cut. The offensive line didn't make the right block. They blew assignments. All the little things that Saban always stresses, all of a sudden Alabama didn't do any of them. And then I thought they got a bit greedy at the end of the game, but who on earth knew the guy would return it 109 yards for a touchdown?
Exactly.
But Alabama seems to, whenever they lose, there's always some freak thing that happens. The LSU game the year where the guy pulled the David Tyree catch at the 1 yard line, and it almost takes a huge fluke to beat Alabama. So Alabama fans are mad, but it's like, yeah, Alabama is the only team that beats Alabama.
Pretty much. But anyway, enough of the SEC. Let's go to the Big Ten. What is Adam Dustin's final thoughts on the Big Ten this season?
Well, at the beginning of the year, you said Michigan State would not even go bowling. At the beginning of the year, I said Michigan State would win the Big Ten championship, and Michigan would have a bad year.
No, you didn't say that at the beginning.
No, I didn't even say that. No, I got to give Sparty props. They're the only team this year with an SEC attitude of we don't care who you are, we're going to punch you in the mouth, and they have a chip on their shoulder, and they carried it all year. Props to Sparty. They even beat the Buckeyes, even though I thought Urban Meyer got stupid in that Big Ten title game. All of a sudden, you only run your big 230-pound back 18 times when your strength is your O-line and a big physical back, and you start passing the football.
He went into hiding.
Yeah, Gosh, jokes are terrible. But that was yeah, that's where you get your sense of humor. But yeah, that was it. It's like, let's throw against their all-star cornerbacks instead of just pounding their front seven with their offensive line. That was terrible, but hey, you can't fault Sparty for what Ohio State did. Sparty won. They won the Big Ten outright, so I'll give them all the props in the world. And I told them I'd give them respect if they did it, and they did, so I give them respect. So
we picked a Michigan team to win, but we picked the wrong one.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And we'll find out about Michigan. Did their performance against the Buckeyes, was that a fluke, or did they finally just decide to get mad for a game and get a chip on their shoulder? Because that was the difference for me, is they clearly seemed like they were tired of everybody telling them how bad they were. And it's like, about time. They've been telling you that all year. So if they go out and play a really lowly Kansas State team and once again stink it up and lose, then there's a problem with the coaching. It's not going to change. There's really nobody out there to hire. But Brady Hoke's going to get another year or two. But hopefully we see something happen in the bowl game where Michigan shows up. Because if they don't, I'm going to be really concerned. Next year's just going to be a repeat.
Pretty much. And I should say, as bad on offense as they looked after the state game, and even during the state game, and as bad as they looked on defense at some time, they were within 2 possessions worth of points, 14, from an 11-1 record. But, as Adam is going to contradict, as he has a lot of my stuff, were 11 points away from 4-8.
That's true. But that's what you paid me for. You know, that is the thing about Michigan, is their season could have been so much better, so much worse. But it's like, what happened to Michigan's team between the Notre Dame game and the Ohio State game? It's like they showed up against Notre Dame. They played excited. Devin Gardner was great. And then it was like, after that, they were like, pat us on the back. We're awesome. We're Michigan. We're back. And then it was awful football, to the point where everybody was picking them to lose by 70 points against the I can't say that on this, the Bucknuts. And then they show up and almost win. I still think that the play was stupid, but all year I thought the play calling was stupid. But it's like, yeah, so where was this Michigan team all year? The one that had fire and were excited to be there. Most of the time this year they looked like they didn't want to be there. It's a mystery, but look at all the people State's going to lose, and people are still picking them to win it all again next year. That's how bad people's opinion of Michigan football is right now, and deservedly so. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to Heisman Trophy candidates. Let's just go. Who's going to win it?
Foregone conclusion, Jameis Winston's going to win it. I think that stinks because there's a guy at Boston College who is the only player that team had. Everybody knew that he was going to run the ball, including Florida State, and he still rushed for over 120-some yards against FSU. He had over 2,150 yards rushing all year, and he's a really standout, good character guy. And instead, it's going to go to the guy who apparently likes shooting BB guns at windows and allegedly possibly raping people. So once again, NCAA is going to give it to a guy with a really shady background. And I know, well, look what he does on the field, but look what somebody does. The Heisman Trophy should represent everything as a whole. student athlete. Not just athlete, but student athlete. That's what the Heisman Trophy should be about. The guy from Boston College, I don't even know his name. That's how sad this
Andre
is.
Williams?
Yeah, Andre Williams or something like that. It's like, he's a standout guy in the classroom. He's a good guy, follows the rules, does the right things, doesn't need the police to back him up. And on top of that, he has insane numbers. And he doesn't have the team that Jameis Winston has. Sorry, but I probably could win a couple football games as FSU's quarterback with the team he has next to him. I'm not saying Winston wasn't great on the field all year. I'm saying it's not fair that that guy's going to win the whole thing. It should go to the Boston College guy. It won't. Winston's going to be the Heisman winner unless something happens the next week and he rapes somebody. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Winston's going to win, but he shouldn't. The guy from Boston College, he's the man.
I also think Winston will win the Heisman just because, by default, pretty much. Johnny Manziel had better numbers this year than he did last year, but he's not in consideration. Andre Williams should be. Trey Mason is. Who else? A.J. McCarron, who I originally picked to be the Heisman Trophy winner in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I called it, that he made it, but yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, my guy Yeldon didn't make it at all. He didn't. That's what happens when you have a young offensive line, though. Alabama lost a bunch of guys in the NFL, and their O-line wasn't quite as good, which meant Yeldon wasn't quite as good this year, and so my pick was out. But
and plus, just like last year, Drake was better at the end.
Yeah, well, he's the speed guy. I mean, not that Yeldon's slow, but Yeldon's that shifty guy who can explode at the end. But I still think Yeldon's much better, but when you don't have the great blocking, sometimes the speed back is better, so which explains Michigan.
Well, there you go. There you have it. We will introduce a new show in our final segment.
Potential new page.
Yes.
And this is gonna be we're gonna have to develop some accents. So.
Oh boy.
Right, dear?
Yeah.